Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Umar Inam from Islamabad, the federal capital of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and this video is for beloved Kawan and about the last hearing of Islamabad High Court. And this is a special video, and why this is special? Because the court talked about the transfer of Kawan from Islamabad to Cambodia in the last hearing, and that is why I am going to convey you the 13 major points of that 40 minutes hearing, in which the Honorable Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court talked about the transfer of the Kawan to Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary. There are 13 major points that cover the whole hearing at Islamabad High Court. The first point and the major point and the most important point is that court said, the Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court, Justice Atar Minillah, said there is no time extension for anybody, any institution, any department in Pakistan, and there is no extension to make process to make anything possible for Kawan. The court said it given 1 month to transfer Kawan to Cambodia, and that is the period has passed. So the extension was asked by Secretary, Ministry of Climate, Commissioner Islamabad and the Chairman Wildlife Board, but court denied categorically any time, any extension, and court said that 1 month has passed and now this is time to send Kawan to Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary as soon as possible. The second point was no more bureaucratic hurdle now. The court observed that there are some bureaucratic hurdles, some bureaucrats are making hurdles to transfer Kawan to Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary. So the Islamabad High Court stressed and talked about the whole bureaucratic circles, bureaucratic system in Pakistan, and court ordered the relevant personalities who were there in courtroom number 1 that no bureaucrat is allowed to make hurdles for this transfer, and if court knows and the court thinks and listens about anybody who is making hurdles for this transfer, court will make them example. The second thing was by the Honorable Court that PM, yani Prime Minister of Pakistan, is being misled by ministers. Here the minister's role in this transfer, the relevant ministry's role in this transfer was discussed in the Islamabad High Court, and court discussed that it seems that PM is being misled in this issue, and he is not being given the true information and the court orders that court passed 1 month before. The fourth important point is 1 year of observation. The time was requested by relevant ministries of 1 month. That was the first point, that no time extension. In this point, the Honorable Chief Justice said, we gave and we observed 1 year to whole ministries, to whole system, to see if they are seriously trying to transfer the Kawan to Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary. But court observed that we didn't see any serious attempt of anybody in Islamabad to transfer Kawan. So there is, the court said, environment is important, and we are not going to give you a single day. This is time to transfer. Honorable Court also discussed about the Prime Minister's tweet, who is the now Prime Minister, Imran Khan, who was in opposition at that time in 2015. He tweeted about Kawan and he talked about his transfer. So the Honorable Chief Justice also talked about the Prime Minister tweet, and he said to the persons who were from ministries that, have you asked Prime Minister, have you showed him this tweet of him, that he was the person who was talking about Kawan's freedom, and now he is the Prime Minister, he is all in all, he is the most powerful person in the office. Why he is so reluctant? And if he knows this, the Chief Justice asked this. Chief Justice also talked about the environment He said that environment is important for all of us, and the relevant ministries should take all possible measures to protect the environment. The Chief Justice also talked about great embarrassment for whole country. He said that the whole country is feeling embarrassed, that the whole international community, the citizens from more than 100 countries are looking toward Islamabad to make this possible, to make this happen. And if we are not going to do this, this will be embarrassing for whole of the country. The court also appreciated Prime Minister Imran Khan's decision to make 15 national parks in Pakistan, and Chief Justice said that this is the care for the environment, this is care for the nature, that Prime Minister knows this and he is well aware, and he is the most vocal person in Pakistan who talks about nature, who talks about climate change. That is internationally acknowledged, that the Prime Minister Imran Khan is well aware of this climate and environment. So Prime Minister was also appreciated by the court, and Chief Justice talked about his initiative that he took 2 days ago to create 15 more national parks in Pakistan. The most important point in this video or in this hearing was, the Chief Justice said that next week, the next Monday, the coming Monday is the next hearing, and Chief Justice said in the next hearing, tell about the exact date on which you are going to transfer the Kawan from Islamabad to Cambodia. The 10th most important point in this hearing was, the court was informed that an important meeting between all the relevant persons, institutions, ministers, and organizations and private organization is going to be held on 13th of July. It means the coming Monday, and the next hearing is on next Saturday, because every Saturday Islamabad High Court is hearing this important issue, and the court was informed that an important meeting is going to be held on Monday 13th July, and court said make everything clear, ask us whatever you need on this important meeting on Monday, and give me each and every detail, that who is being hurdled in this issue and who is helpful for all of us to make this happen, the transfer of Kawan from Islamabad to Cambodia. So this meeting will be important, which is going to be held after 2 days from now. I am making this video. Court also ordered that inform the Prime Minister and give us detail that you have informed him about this hearing, about the orders of the court that were given 1 month ago about Kawan. Court also ordered the relevant personalities in the courtroom number 1 that please please give this detail to Prime Minister of Pakistan. The second most important point, and the 12th point, was send Kawan to Cambodia if Sri Lanka is not interested. The chairman of the Wildlife Board informed Honorable Court that we talked with the Honorable High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Pakistan, and the Honorable High Commissioner asked us for 1 week, and he is talking to Colombo, the federal capital of Sri Lanka, because this was given by the President of Sri Lanka to the President of Pakistan. So this is an important thing, and we cannot transfer Kawan to Cambodia without the permission of Sri Lanka. This was the point where Chief Justice shouted at chairman of the Wildlife Board and asked that show them this order. If the Sri Lankan High Commissioner is not interested and Sri Lanka is not interested to take this matter seriously and to talk about Kawan, then ignore them and go ahead. This was the point, the major point the one point in which Chief Justice of Pakistan was seen angry, and he shouted at the Chairman Wildlife Board and asked him to ignore every person who is not serious in this issue and send Kawan as soon as possible. The last important point is for everyone who is interested in environment and climate. There are 2 points. There are 2 laws in Pakistan which are not implemented in true sense. The first one is Islamabad Wildlife Ordinance of 1979. The second important law is Environmental Protection Act of 1997. These are the 2 laws in Pakistan, and court order that every institution is now will be trying to implement these 2 laws with full spirit. So these were the 13 points, and I asked and I told you about the last hearing of Islamabad High Court. I will also tell you about the next hearing and the next meeting of all the relevant persons on Monday, and on next Saturday I will tell you about the last hearing. I hope that this will be the last hearing, and court will order, and all the relevant personalities will ask and inform court that everything is clear and everything is okay now to transfer Kawan. So take care of yourself and the persons around you. Good luck. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.